1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And go ahead and take a seat on the ground. One leg out, other leg in. Reach and touch your toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Both legs, touching both toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I see it's the day of cats wanting to work out with us. Oh, both legs in for a butterfly.
Oh,
1,
no, okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, and go ahead, stand back up. Don't worry, Rowan, I know it's like to have a cat weaving around you when you try to work out. And ankles, just a 5 on all these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And arm circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wrists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And last set, head circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, awesome. Quick review today just to make sure you guys haven't forgotten everything. So nice and simple. I'll just call it out and you'll just do whatever I happen to be saying. All right, go ahead and make your on guards. And advance. Retreat. Extend. Lunge. Good. Hold it a moment. Hold it, hold it. Just been a little bit of strengthen. And recover. And advance. Advance. Crossover back. Crossover forwards. 2 retreats. Advanced lunge. Recover on guard. Minute, make sure arm first. It's all right, no worries. Rowan, I saw you almost did the same thing. You're like, wait, no, arm first. And on guard. Advanced lunge. Recover on guard. Almost minute, so it'll be extend, then advance, and then lunge.
Okay.
It was better than the first time, but make sure the extend's the very first thing to come out.
Okay.
And on guard. Advanced lunge.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Nice. Recover on guard.
Yeah.
And retreat back as far as you have space for. And flesh. Good. And retreat back so you've got enough space. Or just walk back, it's fine. And on guard. Flesh. Good. And on guard. Lunge. Excuse me. Forward recovery. Thank you. Lunge. Forward recovery. Lunge.
Oh no.
And recover on guard. And rest. Good. I just want to take one quick note on the flesh. So the initial step on the flesh needs more power. So it's somewhere between like a sprint and a jump. But that first part is more the, I guess, like jumping part, and then the second half is more the sprint. So right now, the fleshes, they're coming out and they're they're pretty quick, but they kind of just almost look like a run, right? So I'm looking for, as best as I can do it in slow motion. Obviously, physics will only allow me to go so slow, but you really want a nice big step on that first one. So ideally, if you're fencing with someone, by the time this back foot lands, that's when you're scoring. All right. So
Okay.
actually, just that first step that carries you to them. The rest is more runoff in case you miss, so you can get past them, away from them. Or obviously, just you have to have some amount of slowdown. So that's kind of just running off. But it's really that first step that's the most important. So again, make it a nice big step, right? When you're doing it, cover lots of distance.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see it a couple times. Go ahead, make your arm guards. And flesh. Yeah, yeah. Already, just on that one, I was much better. Good. On guard. Flesh. Good. Give me even just a little bit more. The key to this is all that front leg. So go ahead, rest. The key here, really your back leg just starts it, but you're going to get this position, right, where only the front leg is touching. So most of the force comes off of the push off that front leg and then just reaching across with your back leg. So it's really the front leg that determines how powerful your flesh is. Okay? On good? Flesh. Yeah, I'm liking it. It's looking much better. One more time. This will be the last one. Okay? Flesh. Awesome. Good job, guys. Okay, so we're gonna do our workout first, and then the whole rest will pretty much be blade work. So we're not really doing a lot of footwork other than the review today, just because, like I said, it's kind of the same footwork we've learned. It's really blade work now that there's more options and more combinations and that sort of stuff. All right, so workout, we're gonna start pretty simple. So we're gonna do squat, sit-ups, and push-ups. All right, so hit 3 main body groups, and they're all fairly simple to do. So I'm going to give them to you all at once, and you can just go at your pace. So it's going to be 30 squats, 20 sit-ups, and 10 push-ups. You can do them in whatever order you like. All I say is do all of one workout before you move on to the next one. So don't do like 15 squats, then your push-ups, and come back. Do all 30 squats, 20 sit-ups, 10 push-ups. You can go in whatever order you want. Cool? All right. Go ahead and go. Anyone done anything exciting recently?
No. I bought jewelry off at a good sale on Macy's.
Hey, if it makes you happy.
It did. I saved $626.
Pretty good. But how much did you spend is the real question.
$225.
It's pretty good savings though.
Yeah.
It's like almost a third.
Yeah.
Actually, a little more than a third, I guess you saved. So
I lost count. But that's exciting because I haven't spent that much money at once ever. I did 30, I think. Yes, I did.
I think that's right. I lost count a little bit in the middle, but
Did you have any symptoms from the shot?
really, my arm was sore, but kind of everyone said that. I had a headache the next day, but that may or may not have been related. So pretty much no, except for the fact that I hate needles.
Same.
Which my friends tease me about because they're like, you get stabbed all day for a living. What's the big deal? But those don't puncture my skin.
I was about to say, you're not fencing with hypodermic needles.
Yeah. Oh, what a nightmare. Fencing with giant hypodermic needles.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh.
Literally sounds like a nightmare.
It really 20. Did I do 20? I'm gonna do one more. I don't know if I did 20. I'm gonna just do 5 more.
That's all right. I lost count during squats too, so no worries. I was like, I think that's 30.
All right. And then 10 push-ups.
And go ahead, take a rest. Get some water if you need. Give you about a minute or so.
I justified the jewelry because my birthday's coming up, so that's like a birthday present to me. Huh?
Birthday present to yourself. Makes sense.
Yeah!
Go take a little more rest. I'm just going to go ahead and explain what we're doing next, but not doing it yet. I think we've done this once or twice before, where go kind of at an angle. Your normal on guard is 1 and 2, 3, 4. Right? We've done this at least once, right? Okay. So again, your normal on guard. Make sure it's a normal on guard, right? Because as this drill goes, 1 becomes like standing straight up. So make sure still an on guard is 1, 2 is lower, 3 is lower, 4 is low, but it shouldn't be sitting, right? It should still be up. And you've got an added challenge. You're gonna grab your epee and you're gonna have it extended the whole time doing the drill. Get a little bit of that dominant arm workout in as well.
I knew there was a catch. Okay, let's do this.
So I'll give you guys a choice. You can do 2 sets of 45 seconds or 1 set of 1 minute and 15 seconds. So 15 seconds less of workout if you do 1 set, but you don't get a break. Any preferences?
Like
if you don't care, you can say I'm fine either way too.
Yeah, I'm fine either way.
Fine either way. Minette, you have a preference? Same?
I do not.
We'll do 2 sets of 45 seconds then. Okay. Give you a little rest between. All right, go ahead. Make your on guard, also known as number 1 for this. And extend your arm. Remember, this stays extended the whole drill now. All right? And 2, 3, 4. Make sure 4 is low but not sitting. 3, 2, 1. Make sure 1 is still your normal on guard. Yeah. 2, 1, 2, 1, 3.
Oh God.
4, 1, and rest. Nice.
That wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 2 sets of 45 seconds is easier than 1 minute and 15 with no break, because those last 15 seconds really suck. Take another 10, 15 seconds to rest. Not timing the rest, but.
A true Olympian coach. Yes.
I do, well, pre-COVID, I did martial arts. My Taekwondo instructor, he always used to time things in what he dubbed Korean seconds and Korean minutes. So he'd be like, all right, we're going to do a 30-second workout, right? And 4 minutes later, you're still doing the workout. And we're like, we thought you said 30 seconds. And he's like, they're Korean seconds. And then he'll be like, all right, 30 seconds, rest, get water. I'm like, all right, sweet. And he's like, all right, let's go. And we're like, that was like 5 seconds. And he's like, nah, they were 30 Korean seconds.
Oh, he's amazing. I like that.
He was a great guy, but
Yeah.
terrible with time. Or intentionally bad, most likely. But all right,
Yeah,
go ahead and make your
definitely.
on guard. And extend. 2, 3. Yeah, 3 sucks. Holding 3 really sucks. It'd be terrible if I just was talking while you're holding it. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Mini squats. 2, 3, 4. You can do it. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right.
I need my legs. It's only Monday. I need
We
them
are
for the
done with our
rest
workouts today, so you may relax. You may get some water as you need. You may give your legs a little break.
I mean, if you think about it, since my legs do hurt, I'm doing the technique right.
Yeah.
That's good. Like my knees aren't hurting.
Yeah, the knee pain maybe not so much, but yes, I had a fencing coach who used to like to say pain is weakness leaving the body. So.
I like that.
All right, go ahead and grab your glove if you have one, and your epee or foil. So we are going to continue with our theme of compound attacks, right? So we've looked at a couple different options and a couple different aspects of them. So today I'm focused on 2 main points. So one, smoothing them out, right? So rather than having it being one attack, stop, and a second attack, having it be one compound attack, right? So an attack of 2 parts or 3 or whatever. And then the second aspect is being able to do things in the middle of the action. So we, for instance, let's say with our disengages, right? So you attack, someone tries to parry. What's the best thing to do? Disengage around it, avoid the parry. But the way we've been practicing largely has been something along the lines of extend, disengage, and lunge, or extend, advance, disengage, and lunge, right? Which is fine, and it's a great way to learn the technique and how to put it in. But the problem is fencing normally not that slow, right? You don't normally get the luxury of really being able to come out and have that nice pause in the middle for it. So what we're going to look at today will be having it be in the middle. So extend, advance, and disengage as the lunge comes out. So if I'm facing you, look, extend, advance, disengage as the lunge comes, right? So those are our 2 main aspects. Smoothing them out and then getting the actions to kind of come in the middle of the action rather than having a pause in the center for whether it be a parry, disengage, whatever it might be. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you could probably guess from what I was showing, our first one is going to be advanced lunges and disengages. All right. So to keep it simple, we're only going to worry about disengaging against a parry 6 and against a parry 4. So our opponent, they're on guard. We're only going to worry about attacking here, they parry 6, or here, they parry 4. All right. So if you're attacking the 6, they're coming around for the 6. You're going to want to dip underneath the blade and come back. Same thing for underneath the blade and come back, right? If it was 8, you would try to come over the blade and back. But for both of these, you dip underneath the blade. It's just one is clockwise, one is counterclockwise. Okay, so we're going to make it an advanced lunge with a disengage during it. So this would be based on how quick your opponent's reaction speed and decision making are, right? If they're really experienced, you start your advanced lunge and they might immediately come out for a parry, right? So it might have to be extend, and on your advance, your disengage comes out and the lunge can come straight, right? Maybe they're a little slower or they weren't paying quite as much attention and you almost hit them. You're like right here, and now they're coming out for a parry. So the disengage comes in the lunge. So when I say disengage in the advanced lunge, you can put it wherever you want. All right, it can be during the advance, it can be during the lunge, it can start in the advance and then finish in the lunge. That I'm not worried about, but you can't pause for it. So if I'm going, I'll go slowly but continuously, right? So extend, advance, disengage, lunge, right? There was no stop in the middle. That's really what I'm looking at. You can throw the disengage in wherever you want, so long as it's not, at the very beginning or the very end, but it needs to be smooth. So again, if I'm coming at the screen so you can see my blade, so I extend, advance, and lunge while I'm doing the steps, right? So somewhere in there. Any questions? No? All right, let me see. You can picture this against a 6 or a 4, by the way, whichever you prefer. Let me see it one more time. Sorry, I kind of missed it.
You're good. Let me move back. So,
yeah, there's still just a little pause in there between the advance and the lunge. There's still this little hesitation. It's small,
okay,
but it's still there.
Okay.
Oh, that was nice, Rowan. Good connection. Looks smooth. There you go, Manette. That was much smoother. Very good.
Okay.
Yes, both of you guys. Good. They look so much smoother, even just from the last time we were doing this. I think that was just last week. All right, challenge to you both, because they look pretty good. They're smooth. The disengages look small but still effective. Speed it up now. Right? So everything's looking good, but the advanced lunge is still kind of coming out with like a pace, right? Which is not bad, but I really like to get it more to like where pretty much a full bouting speed. It doesn't have to get there right away, so you can start at the speed you've been doing and just try each repetition get a little faster and a little faster. Okay? Yeah, nice. Good. Yes. You guys are looking good today. You're on point. Very nice. Only thing, Minette, make sure your recoveries are getting lazy. So the full advanced lunge is really nice, but then the recovery is like, right? So make sure keep a nice on guard, just in case if it was a real bout, you had missed your advanced lunge, right? You want to recover back and be ready for whatever comes next.
Oh, that's right. I keep my arm out, my legs back. Okay. All right.
Yes, like that. Nice. Good speed, Rowan. They're snappy. Yeah, feel free to take a rest if you need partway through, especially since we did leg workouts too. But yeah, the speed's looking good. Rowan, I'm gonna make just one little adjustment. Your front shoulder is very tense. So when you're demonstrate. So you're here right for your on guard. Your extend is all right, but once you start, you kind of like almost bring your chin and your shoulder together, where your head comes down a little bit and your shoulder tenses up. Keep it relaxed. And a lot of it, I think, is just focus because you're so focused on what you're doing. But it'll help your arm move more fluidly. So if you're in a bout, if you need to suddenly switch and disengage the other way or come back for a parry, it'll help that come more smooth. Yeah, good. And for both of you guys, if you notice, my critiques are getting a little bit more specific, right? Because the general form for both of you guys is fine. So you don't need like, oh, don't forget what a lunge looks like or whatever. You don't need that anymore. So I can critique on a little bit smaller things. All right, go ahead and rest, because overall this one looks good, and good adjustment with your shoulder, Rowan. Okay, we're going to do the harder version, all right? So it's going to be an advanced lunge, but you see they're coming for a counterattack partway through, right? So you come out, you're going for your advanced lunge, nice and simple, and they're a little bit more aggressive offensive. They don't want to take the parry. They want to score the point off a counterattack. So as you come out, they're coming to try to hit you, we'll say, on the arm as you come out. So for this, we'll actually have them counter high. So for this, you're going to have to come back and parry partway through your advanced lunge. Now, if you encounter this in a bout, you would have the option of just canceling the attack, right? If you see it early enough, you just say, oh, never mind, I'm going to pop back. Perfectly valid, right? You see something you didn't like in your attack, better to cancel the attack than to, just push forwards into something that you're most likely going to get hit. But we'll say either A, you didn't realize in time, so you didn't get a chance to cancel it, or B, you see it, but you're confident enough that you can parry and hit them in your action. All right, so this one is going to be extend advance. And somewhere before you finish your lunge, you're going to need to recover your arm, parry 6, and get it back out. All right, so extend advance. As your lunge starts, recover your arm, take parry 6, and get it back out. Like I said, this is the harder version. Definitely. So, again, let me show it like 2 more times. Feel free to do it with me if you want while I show it, but just make sure you can still see me. So, the extended advance comes out, right? You can't start this at the very beginning because this is a reaction to something your opponent's doing, right? So, you extend advance, and now you realize, oh crap, they're trying to counterattack my arm. I can't just go straight. So, as your lunge starts, your arm comes back, parry 6, the arm comes back out, and you can finish your lunge. Now to show it slowly, I'm picking up my leg really high. Don't do that for your lunges. So if I show it a little bit more at speed, it'll look like that, right? So it's still a more normal lunge, but my arm just gets this extra motion as I'm doing it. And again, make sure for the real thing, connect it. So, right? I don't want to see like that. Yeah, I'm exaggerating, obviously, but. All right. Any questions? No? All right, awesome. I think you guys can do it. Let me see.
Okay. So you go extend, advance, and then parry.
All right, pause for just a moment. It's fascinating you guys had opposite problems. All right, so Minette, make your arm come back for the parry. So you extended, advanced, you tried to do your parry from here. This is really just disengage. If you actually try to parry from here, you have no power because your motion can only be this much, right? So you'll need to recover your arm a little bit, parry, and come back out. Rowan, you did the opposite. You recovered your arm too much. So you're fully back to the on guard and parrying from here. Because this is an attack, the parry is going to happen at this kind of like awkward middle space, right? Because you don't want to come all the way back or it's too slow to get back out and get the parry. But if you don't come back at all, you don't have power for the parry. So it'll be partially back, parry, and then attack.
Okay.
All right, let me see it again. Sorry to stop you guys so early. It was fascinating seeing the two opposites.
All right. Oh.
Yeah. Better both of you guys.
Okay.
And make sure for this we're doing parry number 6. I realize I don't know if I actually ever said that, but it's parry number 6 for this.
Okay. Nope. Nope. Extend the.
It looks, Minette, like you're doing a parry 8 coming down. Make sure the 6 should come underneath, and then
okay.
It looked like you were coming for a parry 8. Also, for both you guys, the connection isn't there anymore now. So now it's become an advance, the arm starts and then the lunge comes out, right? So both of you guys make sure to connect it again because you're doing beautifully with the previous one. So try to get it back towards that.
Okay.
Yes, big improvement, Rowan. Very nice.
To get faster. Nope, I didn't bring the arm in.
Actually, that was really good, Minette, except for the fact that you didn't bring your arm in. But everything else, it was connected, it was fast, it just the arm wasn't there. But otherwise, it was good.
Hey, I'm getting there. Okay, so nope.
You can even bring your arm back, Rowan, a little bit less. It's just enough to give you time to make the 6. You can even cheat rather than having it come at like that perfect horizontal. You can have it where your arm is like coming up a little bit to help you. So that way the elbow doesn't have to come all the way back and come from here. You can pull the elbow kind of up to help with the parry because they're coming over your arm anyways. Yeah. Don't pull the arm back too much, Minette. I know. It's that like awkward middle ground of like not trying to come fully back to the on guard, but not having your arm extended.
Yeah, this is. I got it.
Good. Yes, both of you guys. It's looking better. They're starting to be a little more connected too. Good.
Nope. Nope. Okay, so.
Yeah, still pull your arm back a little bit, Rowan. I know. Again, I know it's hard not to do too much one way or the other. All right, go ahead. Pause, take a rest, because I know doing it over and over again will probably just tire you and make it harder. So with the arm too, I find it easier to almost imagine. It's kind of like a weird way of putting it, but I feel like it works mentally for me. Of like a wave of having it come out and then kind of back in, and like this motion of like the, if we're sticking with the wave analogy, right? Wave kind of coming into shore and then getting pulled back and then coming back out, where it kind of slows a little bit at both ends and accelerates in the middle, where you have this coming back, parry, and out to hit, and back, parry, and out to hit. And so it's kind of this nice wave motion. And you'll see if you watch my arm, right? These aren't perfect parries, right? Normally, if I was here, I'd make it right like this, where I take a nice tight parry, I'd scoot it out, and I'd hit. These don't have to be perfect because you don't have time for them to be perfect. Now, that being said, don't totally throw the parry fundamentals out the window, right? But you're allowed to have this half like extension, right? Where you're not quite in your on guard, where you're not quite extended, where you're in this place right here, where it's somewhere between the two. Probably a little bit closer to the on guard, right? But still between them. Likewise, with your parry, it doesn't have to be right here. It can have this little upwards motion to the tip where it kind of comes up and then comes back down to the point. Because in a real match, right, if I'm trying to make my advanced lunge, put my FA down so I can make it at speed, and I'm trying to go right at that speed, it's fast, right? And I don't really have time to have this in the middle of it, or it's just not going to work, right? So you can make it a little bit, and I say it with an asterisk, a little bit sloppier to be able to accommodate the speed of the action, right? And so I think that'll make it a little easier, because I think right now there's some thought of like my arms, it needs to be back more, or no, it's back too far, right? Don't think of there's not this like perfect place. It's whatever makes you able to get the parry quickly and doesn't totally interrupt the flow of your advanced lunge. Okay.
All right. That was hanging me up too. I was worried about making sure it was perfect, and I was like, I have to bring it back further.
So
to get it perfect.
Yeah, there's this can be your little rest as I give a little talk. So hello there.
Hello.
Every big fencing country kind of has like this national thought on fencing. So if you get to watch a lot of obviously it's hard now with COVID and everything, but they should be starting back up soon. So if you get to watch World Cups, you get to watch Olympics, that sort of stuff. Fencers from certain countries look similar. And I don't mean physically, like, yes, racially, they'll probably be similar, but in the terms of how they fence, right? The techniques that they use, the techniques they favor, certain things they don't do, the pressure in their matches, they tend to be similar. So, kind of your top fencing nations, it does vary by gender and by weapon, but pretty consistently, you're going to see France, Italy, and South Korea pretty much at the top three most of the time. You'll see the US, Japan, Russia, the UK, they'll make their way in there as well. Really, fencing is Europe, East Asia, and the US. I mean, at the end of the day, most. But the reason I'm bringing this up is I'm going to take the Italians and the Koreans because they're probably number 1 and 2, and they trade off. Right now, the Koreans are a little better at epee, Italians are a little better at foil, but they've kind of been training for the past decade or so. The Italians have a very, very I would say adaptive style. A lot of their coaches don't actually teach techniques. They just tell you to achieve something, and they keep thwarting your plans until you eventually figure out a good way to achieve it. So a way I do actually do this with disengages sometimes when we're in person, where I'll just say, don't let me touch your blade, right? And I'll try to parry. And sooner or later, people will figure out, oh, disengage, right? And I'll just tell them what it's called. The Koreans are the exact opposite. They're very textbook. So it's very, this is the hand position, this is the path it follows, this is how the technique finishes. And it's very clean, it's very detail oriented. But both countries have a lot of success. One is very, I don't want to use the term improv because the Italians still train extremely hard. So I don't want it to make it sound like it's slapped together, but it is much more fluid in what they can do and choose. The Koreans are very clean, very by the book, and very methodical. So some of our techniques, as a side note, I should say, these are the 2 styles I pull from the most because I think they're the 2 best styles because consistently they show a lot of results, both men, women, epee, foil, saber. So I tend to pull from both of these. This is going to be more Italian style, where whatever you do should just work. It should fit the situation, right? So if you're lunging, let's say maybe you're not super fast, right? Well, then you can make your parry a little bit cleaner simply on the merit that you're not quite as fast, so you have more time. If you're really explosive, let's say you did I don't know, triple jump on track and fields before this, right? So you have really explosive legs. I realize probably no one did that, but just for the sake of discussion, you're moving really freaking quick, right? So you don't have time to have a really nice technical parry. So it can be a little sloppier so long as the speed can compensate for it. So this was all a long way of saying this is to suit what you need for the situation, right? Based on your speed, your opponent's speed, distance, all of that. You can kind of play with it and play with anything that happens in the middle to fit. So compound attacks are a lot of that because it's a lot of the first action failed, right? If it succeeded, there was no need for compound attack, right? You hit the action 1, we're done. So a lot of what we're doing, because Wednesday will be compound attacks too, spoiler alert, will just be what you need to make it work. All right, so what we're going to do next, pretty similar to what we did before, but with added, of what we did last week, but with some added blade work. So we're going to come out, extend lunge. We're going to make it forward, recover, and flesh. All right. If you guys remember, we did, I don't know if it was Monday or Wednesday, but let's see, one of those days I didn't teach. So, but anyways, it was lunge to the hand, forward, recover, and flesh to the chest. Okay.
Yeah.
We're doing very similar, but we're throwing a parry in. So, extend lunge to the hand. All right. Drat, we missed, but I think I can hit the chest. So I'm going to forward, recover, parry 6, and flesh. Okay. We maybe even have done a little bit of this.
We did.
Okay.
You taught on Monday, and you put the disengage with the flesh.
Disengage. Thank you. I was like, I know I haven't done this technique, but it's feeling familiar. It was disengage. Thank you, Minette. So, extend lunge, right? This part, I'm not super worried about this part, except for the fact that I want you to connect it into the next part. So, forward recover. Then, as your flesh starts, you're coming out with the parry 6, extend, flesh. and hit. Okay?
Okay.
The reason for this is, again, a reaction to your opponent. You realize a straight flesh won't work. So you came out with your lunge. Maybe your original intention was just flesh, right? Nice and easy without having to do all the blade work. But you realized maybe they're counterattacking. Maybe they're still kind of in an extended position, right? Even if they're not totally intending to counterattack, you can't just run into it. For whatever reason it is, you realize you need a parry. So lunge, forward recover, 6, flesh. So once the forward recovery starts, that's when your parry can start. And it can kind of carry over into your flesh. Because the moment you forward recover, you've pretty much committed to continuing, right? The reason you're recovering forwards instead of recovering back, you want to continue. So once that starts, you could have realized for whatever reason you need to take a parry. All right. So again, one more time, lunge. The moment I start to recover this, I can recover, start my parry, flesh, and finish it partway through. Yeah. And kind of your time constraints for the far end, you want to make sure you're back to fully extended before you fully committed to that flesh, right? You don't want the fastest part of your flesh where your arm's still back here, or best case scenario, you simply don't have time to hit them. Worst case scenario, they're going to be able to hit you, right? So you want to make sure it can be here, but fully out before the really powerful part of the flesh comes out. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, let me see it.
Take a extend lunge and then so extend lunge and then that so as that leg comes.
You kind of forgot the forward recover, Minette. So forward recover and then the parry.
Forward recover, then the parry. I was trying to do the forward recover with the parry.
Yeah. So you, or I should say, once the forward recovery starts, then you can start your parry. But the forward recovery will start first, and then the parry will come.
Okay. I was trying to do it at the same time. Okay.
Yes, and I could see that, and I was like, oh, you were making it harder than it needed to be.
Oh no. Okay. There you go. But no. Arm first. This. And then as that starts, that.
Yeah. The step-by-step is correct, so now it's kind of smoothing it out and stuff. Make the parry just a little bit smaller. It's coming up a little bit too kind of above the head.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh no! Okay. And then
good, Rowan. The steps are there. So the biggest thing I'd say now is the connection in the middle. Because I'm sure you can feel, right? It's kind of going full speed, then it has this big slowdown as you get set, and then it speeds back up. So kind of just trying to make it have that consistent flow through. Because the techniques are all there and they're all correct.
Mm-hmm.
Parry's still just a little bit big, Minette.
Yeah. Trying to tighten it up.
It's okay. I know there's a lot of things you're thinking about too, a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Good, Rowan. Better. It's still a little slow down, but it's already looking more connected. Nice. Yes, Minette. Good. That parry was looking much, much cleaner. Very good.
Yeah. So happy. Pause.
And this is not an easy technique. This is hard. There's a lot of moving parts, right? And it incorporates 2 totally different attacks, blade movement, timing's difficult on it. So you guys are doing well. Yeah, so I think, Minette, now you're ready to start focusing on starting to smooth it out as well. Because your parry is there now, the feet are moving the right way. It's more just trying to connect that middle portion.
Okay. I'll try.
Good, Rowan. It's still having a little slowdown. It is smaller than it used to be, but there is still that slowing. Actually, yeah, that was nice. Yeah. I think you had a little hesitation because, like in the middle, you're like, "Oh crap, I'm going really quick now," but it actually looked quite nice.
Thanks.
have to do it slow again. I messed myself up.
It's okay. You can slow down if you need. You can do it because you're like right there. You can just go for it.
Yeah, I keep stopping myself. Oh my goodness. Okay. Can't think again.
See, it's correct, Minette. It just yeah.
It's just a pause.
The pieces are all there.
No.
Your shoulders tensen up a little bit, Rowan. It started out more relaxed, and I think now as you're focusing now on the more detailed aspects of it, it started slowly creeping up there again. Yeah. It's all right. I had terrible problems with that. Like the first 2 years I was fencing, like I would be all like relaxed and doing whatever, and the moment I started fencing, it was like just immediate tension. So no worries. Do like 2 or 3 more, and then we'll move on.
All right.
All right, good. Go ahead and rest. And take a little break because I know this is intensive on legs. You got flushes and lunges. Get some water if you'd like. Wednesday will be kind of normal practice. We'll be doing, compound attacks again. Next Monday, and if you guys are like, no, this doesn't interest us, I'm happy to change it. But because you guys haven't really gotten a lot of chances to actually see fencing matches. So what I was thinking of doing was finding a match I really liked that showed a lot of different techniques, and I think is just a good match and stuff, and having us kind of watch that through, see what it looks like. I can kind of talk in a couple points, say like, so and so made, I don't know, I haven't picked out a video yet, but like this person made this decision because of this, or they saw this, or they were trying to work whatever technique. Would that interest you guys, or would you rather do just a normal practice?
That'd be
That
pretty cool.
interesting.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I like
It won't take the whole class. I would imagine maybe 15 or 20 minutes of it. But I figure that way you can see fencing, you can see a high level match, right? Like I'll pull either from a World Cup or an Olympics, probably, maybe like national championships or something, but I'll probably try to stick to World Cup or Olympics. So it's really, really high end, good fencing and stuff. And really the difference between like number one in the world and kind of your average like fencer at GSU or whatever is just their ability to apply things and the rate at which they can apply them. The techniques are often the same, right? Like there are 8 parries total. It's all the parries there are. Now, you can apply them in different situations. You can use them a little bit differently. You can make it a beat instead of a bind. But at the end of the day, there's 8 parries, right? So it doesn't take that long to learn all 8. But most of what getting from, kind of beginner to high level fencing is learning how to do it quickly, when to choose one over the other, that sort of stuff. So I just thought, especially since you guys don't get to see that much fencing this semester, or really any, I guess, that might be helpful. All right, you guys ready for the last set of blade work? Awesome. You need a challenge on this one. This one's hard. We've been doing 2 compound attacks, right? So attack 1, attack 2, we're going to do a 3-step compound attack. But I think you'll be all right. So we're going to go shallow, shallow, deep. So we're going to go hand, foot, body. So if, I think you were both here for the half steps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. So we're going to be using some of that. So you're going to start off with a half step and hitting underside of the hand. So half step, hitting the underside of the hand. From here, you're going to extend the foot, lunge to the foot. That's our shallow, shallow. From here, you're going to forward recovery while you do a parry 6, just like with that flesh, but in this time, you're going to lunge. All right? So, for now, just look at the feet. It's half step, lunge, forward recover, lunge. We're only looking waist down.
Okay.
Now, only looking waist up, so the hand, basically, it'll be half extend to the hand, extend to the foot, parry 6, and then lunge, or extend.
Okay. So it's half
Combine.
step, lunge.
Yeah, and now I'll combine them. I just like to be able to show you each, because basically right there are two main things you're thinking about here, your feet and your hands, so kind of break them down. Combining them again, so it's half step, hit to the underside of the hand. From here, extend to the foot, lunge to the foot. Now, once your forward recovery begins, your parry 6 can begin. So forward recover, parry 6, and lunge.
Okay.
So 3 steps attacks, hand, foot, we're assuming they come out for a counterattack, then you're parrying and coming into the chest. All right, 3 steps, either they're good at dodging or your point control is kind of bad, but either way, you have to continue into your 3rd attack to be able to score. Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let me see them. Don't be afraid to ask for help because this one is complicated.
All right. Half step.
Good, yeah, Rowan, just make sure, it looked like you were almost transitioning into the flesh, just make sure it ends with that lunge. But otherwise, that was a clean first run. Good job.
And then.
Yeah, Manette, that was a clean first run as well. Good job.
Cover and then extend lunge. Okay.
Yeah, the only thing, Manette, make sure the parry and the forward recovery and then the parry and the lunge should kind of happen together. So that parry is kind of going on at the same time as the forward recover lunge.
Okay. Forward recover and then.
It's okay. You're just doing fleshes. Your body was like, it's flesh time. And a flesh is a totally valid choice for this if they counterattack and step back. We're assuming for this, they're just counterattacking without the step back.
Okay. And come back and then.
Good, Rowan. Nice speed. Just don't shortchange the first step. Make sure it is a full attack to the hand.
Oh, it's hard. Okay.
It is hard, yeah.
No, it was hard trying to stop myself to not flush again.
Flesh. You want to get that full aggression.
That full-on aggression.
Yeah, it looks good. Try to take that pause out a little bit, but it looks good.
Okay.
Sorry, that was for Minette. Sorry, Ron.
Oh, really? You're doing great. You're doing amazing.
You both are. You're both doing really well, actually.
Oh, that's all extended.
Your front leg came out too fast that time, Rowan. Your leg got ahead of your hand, so make sure that parry comes out before the final lunge, or at least during the final lunge. Yeah. Good. You guys good. Very nice. Yeah, they're looking great. So yeah, the techniques now for both of you guys are in. It's just smoothing it out and then working up the speed. Good, let's get like 2 more in a piece. Make that parry happen just a little bit sooner, Rowan. It's coming out just a little late.
Oh, golly.
Yes. Very good, both of you guys. Go ahead and rest. Actually, you guys made that one look pretty easy. I think you actually had an easier time with that one than you did the one before, which is nice. I mean, the flesh is a little bit more work, but all in all, that's the harder technique. It's got 3 steps, 3 different targets and stuff. So good job. You guys did well. Obviously, it'll feel a little different on an opponent who is going to fight back. So I try to make a point of saying why we would use this, right? We're using the lunge instead of the flesh because they're counterattacking and not stepping back. The flesh is, again, a perfectly fine choice. It's just probably the better choice if they're stepping back. And unfortunately, you guys do have the disadvantage of you don't have a partner to train with, right? Like if you had someone across from you, it's a lot easier to remember which one to do because you can feel it, right? Like when someone's a lot closer to you, you're like, probably not the best time for the flesh, right? Or if they're pulling away, you can see, well, I can't reach this with a lunge. I'm going to have to flesh, right? So it is that advantage. But I really think for online and everything, you guys are doing quite well. So good job. Any questions or anything about, it could be something we did today or like fencing in general this semester or anything like that? Has everyone paid their dues, by the way?
I
hope I
forgot to
did.
do that.
I
That's all right.
paid. Is there a way for you to check?
You have. I think you were actually the first person to pay. So of everyone, I'm pretty certain that you have. Rowan, it should still be in the chat. So there's just a Venmo link in there.
Yeah.
And just send it there. Yeah, no worries. Sorry, I'm not like Wilbert's kind of more of the financial end, so he tends to handle the payments and stuff. So I'm like, I hope you guys have paid. But yeah, just especially since we're getting to the close of the semester, just make sure to do that. But yeah, any other questions or anything? Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much. And I'll be teaching again on Wednesday, so I will see you guys then. And I don't know if you can hear me, Wilbert, but I hope your research paper is going well.
You got this, Wilbert.
See you guys.